Hey guys, Nina Zapala here. It's a place we talk about personality typing with spiritual understanding. This week on the blog, I'm talking about what makes, what about your personality type is so wonderful. I believe everything about your personality type is so wonderful because it's here to teach you things, right? It's here to inspire you. And if you come at it from a soulful perspective, easy for me to say, right? You really will find that you start looking at the world in such a different way. So, we're going to talk about that today. And I want to first start out by talking about the difference between motivation, right? This is the paradigm from an old paradigm from the career typology from decades ago. And this motivation is all about, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Get the goals out. You have an idea. I'm strong. I can do it this and this and this way. I'm going to make this happen. So you're pushing, you're forcing, and it's all pushing out into the physical plane. So you grasp an idea from that place, right? The idea comes from these kind of constrictive notions that you have about your personality type. Yes, we all have strengths. Yes, we all have weaknesses. Those are with you no matter what. And yes, part of what I'm teaching here is how to tap into those weaknesses and what I call them just triggers. Because you're not weak. You are not weak. You are very, 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 very powerful. Say that with me. You are very, 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 very powerful. You are. You don't realize how powerful you are. So I don't even like that terminology, strength and weakness. It sounds like we're in grade school. Oh, Tommy's really strong, so he can do this. You're weak, so you go sit down. Screw that. That's an old, very constrictive paradigm that I want us to start moving away from. Some aspects of it, yes, are good. And some aspects of it, I think, need to be more relevant and I think aren't really healthy. I think they constrict. I think they're disruptive. I think they hold you back. I think they operate from a fear and ego-based perspective. Of course, these are my opinions. Take what you want and let the rest go, okay? So let's go back to that. So motivation is like you design an idea and usually you grab it from an external place. And then you drive it, you make it a goal and you're going to accomplish it. And so it's constructed in the physical plane. All right. Which is not a bad thing because we have to live here. We can't just sit up and, on a tree and go, everything's going to be working out. I'm not that person either. But there is a different way of going about things. And that's what I want to talk about. So inspiration, when you think about inspiration, you think about, oh, that just came to me. That was an inspired idea. That comes from what I speak of a lot, divine intelligence. Because when you become soulful with your personality type, you realize that the spiritual aspects of yourself, your intentions, those gut instincts, those illogical ways, they show up to be the most powerful. Or there's something that's spontaneous that comes up, right? Or it's a serendipitous moment. Like you smack right into somebody just the right time and they become your husband, 3 years down the line or whatever. Those are things that are driven beyond our physical mind, psyche comprehension, all right? And that's a lot of time where inspiration comes from. Yeah. How many people have you heard they invented stuff on the back of a napkin? They're just sitting there and this idea just flooded into their brain and they start, oh, I'm gonna write it down, oh my God, right? And they just invented something. That's what inspiration means. Inspiration is don't quote me on this, but I think the definition for that too is in spirit, inspiration. So it comes from that divine aspect of yourself. And I'm telling you, the inspiration is always relevant to your personality type. Because the inspiration will be expressed through your personality type. So if it's, how do I say this? I want to say this so it makes sense. So if it's through, so if you get this idea, right? And I'll do it this way. So if you get this idea, like say it's for me, and I get this great idea, but it's mathematical, it's engineering focused, it's more science and conventional focused. That's not going to land on me. I'm going to tell you, because that is not who I am. That's not what jives with my soul. It's not in my purview in any way. Like math, I'd be like, what? And it would just wouldn't fit. It wouldn't work. That's like shoving a square peg in the round hole, as they say. So these inspired ideas come to you because they're perfectly aligned with your personality type. Because in the end, as these things come to you, they express through your personality type. I know. It's so exciting when you think about that. Yes, and and you know what? Sometimes you don't even be motivated because it's so exciting. And when you get an idea from divine intelligence, divine, Allah, God, whatever you want to call, the great I, the universe, whatever your word for an intelligence that is far, far greater than we'll ever know. It's the intelligence where the mysteries of life flow through. And we'll never know. We'll never understand all the whys. But when you're inspired, you don't have to, because things just come your way. Everything kind of just fits exactly the way it's supposed to. Everything just shows up in your life. And things just work out. So you're not hustling and striving and working, 70, 80 hours to just make this happen. It just kind of comes to you. And I'm not saying you don't have to take action and do the work, because you do. You very much do. But it's with more ease, right? It's a little bit easier because you're co-creating with divine intelligence. And when you co-create with divine intelligence, well, there you go. That's unlimited potential of all there is. All there is. So you're tapping into this potential of all there is. And that's pretty exciting. So when you think about motivation, you're motivating from a very small parameter of your ideas, which not a bad thing. But can you see how it would be like your ideas to like unlimited potential? There's no constructs. There's nothing to hold you back. But here again, we believe that. We believe we're not that powerful to have that, but we are. We are. So I want you to start rethinking and move away from that old paradigm of, well, here's my strengths, here's my weaknesses. Nope. You have them. I'm not saying you're not going to have them. But I'm saying I don't want you to focus on that. That shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be what inspires you. Then the intention goes behind that. That's where the focus, that's where the concentration comes in. What inspires you? Concentrate on that. Move that forward. Move that forward. And if you really think about the strengths and weaknesses, there's still a fight, even amongst that paradigm. Strengths and weaknesses. Right? Can you see the fight there? Yeah, you kind of fight yourself. I don't want you to fight yourself. I want you to release that. We already know we have those. And I'm going to be talking a lot about that in my book, which fingers crossed is going to be coming out hopefully first of the year, somewhere shortly after. But yeah, so I don't even want you to look at them as weaknesses because you're not weak. Like I said, they're triggers. It's just a trigger to let you know that something, one of your personality traits needs some work. Or it's a spiritual trigger saying, you need to devote a little bit more time to this. You're not in stillness yet. You're too busy, blah, blah, blah. But typically that is triggered by a personality trait. I'm telling you, these things commingle together like a web. Like a web. It's very interesting. Anywho, so on the blog, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak to all of the 16 personality types. And I'm going to look at like 3 words, or I'm going to make it like, it's going to be like 3 words or a sentence of what's inspirational for your type. Sorry about the dog. I think there's a UPS or somebody's here. Dog doesn't like it. That's my Oliver. And if you guys know me, you know my Oliver is my standard poodle, rescued standard poodle. Anyhow, so what I want to do is take a look at what inspires each of your personality types. So through all the 16 personality types, come here, Oliver. Come say hi to everybody. Come say, here's my little spoiled brat. Oliver, say hi. Say hi. Oh, I know, it's mommy. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. Look, I'm forcing him. Say hi, everybody. He's so cute. I love him to death. Anyhow, so we're going to look at hello, what inspires your personality type. And it just is to get you thinking, because I would be contradicting myself if I give you this one little notion, right? When it comes from unlimited potential, but it just sets you in a direction. It just sets you in. You are looking at those things that you're really good at. So you are looking at your strengths. I don't really want you to look at your weaknesses. And we will look at them, but I want you to be inspired first, because I do think that's a paradigm that shuts you down. You're like, oh, I want to do that. And you look at your weaknesses. I can't do that. No way. And I just did it about myself. Look at the math. If I have to do the math, I'll do the math, or I'll hire somebody to do the math. You see what I'm saying? So we don't want to do that to ourselves. We just don't want to do that to ourselves. So that's what I want to do. I want to do all the personality types. So for each type, I'm just going to give you a little, not a hint or a clue, because I don't want you to take what I'm saying as gospel, because it's not, because I'm not you. But I just want these things to spark things in you, to spark inspiration. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to guide you, and I'm here to teach too, but I don't even feel like that term teach. I'm more of a guide, because I don't want you to just take my words as verbatim and go, oh, this is what I need to do. No, even my book, no, it's a fluid guide. It's fluid. So since I said the word fluid, let's look at the post and all the 16 little notions that I'm giving you as fluid. It's just to get you thinking about yourself. It's just to get you to step away from that fighting paradigm of, strengths and weaknesses that are constricting. Because your strengths, I'm going to guarantee you, are way, way bigger than like the little list of 6 things that make you so, strengths. Right? It's if you start co-creating the divine intelligence, there is no limit. There's no limit. I don't want you to have a limit. I don't want you to see yourself as limited, because you're not. You're a part of unlimited creation. You need to start stepping in the world from an unlimited thought perspective. That's why I want to show you how cool this is when you can start thinking about what inspires you and create from that, instead of creating from your strengths and weaknesses. Do you see the difference? Okay, and I'm going to go in a little bit more on that on the blog, just by defining motivation and inspiration. And then let's do some journal prompts, okay? And I really want to look at journaling too. It's not just unconscious writing, but very conscious writing. So I don't even know if you want to name your inner guide. I don't know, like just when you start journaling, you know, it's coming more from your soul, from that higher self, from that heart center. So I want you to journal from that, not from here, from the mind. So again, that's why I do a meditation a lot of times, and then I'll do a journal prompt, because you got to get into that frame. You got to get out of that mental mind, you know, and get into the more soulful mind, the soulful aspect of yourself that will open itself up to divine intelligence, to all there is. And then ask a question, you know. Maybe ask the question, what really inspires me? What really inspires me? See what comes up. And then what really inspires, take that word and go, how can I use this, right, to leave legacy? Because we all want to leave legacy. We're just not here to what? You know, buy some stuff, have a house, you know. I know the family's important, and it's extremely important to me. Don't get me wrong, because it is. But beyond that construct, and that could be great. That could be enough for some people, right? That could be enough. So if that's your legacy, then that's your legacy. That's awesome. How do you want to leave your family better than they are today? Not just from a monetarily standpoint. Let's look at that more from a spiritual standpoint. How are you raising your children to be givers? Right? That's something to think about. How are you raising your children to be collaborators or competitors? That's just one instance. Or the school that you love. You know, if you love your school, like, how can you make the school better? How can you make your community better? You know? How does that happen? Got to be inspired and step into that. So when you're journaling, I want you to start thinking about, start asking some questions. And I'll go into more detail on that on the blog. But I think it's a very interesting way, a very new, relevant perspective on personality typing. It's personality typing with a spiritual understanding. We are spiritual beings, just dressed up in these beautiful bodies that were given to us, that we are responsible for, right? Beautiful bodies that we have. So they're gifts. It's a gift. But we are spiritual beings, and our bodies help us express what we get from the divine, what our intentions are. And they come through divine intelligence if we open ourselves up to receiving. You have to receive. And how do you receive? You got to get rid of a lot of the fear. You have to be willing to step in the unknowingness. When Spirit says go, you go. I mean, I'll give you an example. So I was living in a rental in another state, and I didn't like that the rent was going up like $500 or $600. I was like, yeah, that's a lot. So I said, okay, I'm gonna move. And I didn't, because I was such a good renter. I paid my rent on time, blah blah. And the owner said, okay, you have 30 days. I'm like, what? 30 days? But guess what? I figured it out. I got the intention, everything, and I actually moved, and I moved to a different state. So it wasn't, I trusted that, like, you know, you throw up your hands sometimes, you just go, it's all going to work out. I'm being guided by divine intelligence. And, you know, being where I am now was such a good move for me, because it allowed me to slow down even more and become even more introspective. And I was put into some situations that allowed me to grow even further. So again, some triggers came up, which was awesome, which is beautiful, right? But that's what we're here for. But we have to trust that. We have to trust divine intelligence. We have to trust divine intelligence. So that's what this blog is all going to be about. And you know what I'm going to tell you? Because every time one person realizes their real self, their truth, who they really are, and they're in alignment with that, they're in alignment with the physical senses and the spiritual senses. They come together as one. They come to reach their midpoint, which is their highest self. It's who you really are. When you're aligned like that, you're more powerful than a million people that aren't. That's huge. That's huge, right? When you start getting into this alignment, and that's why when you get inspired like that, that's so cool about your personality type. That's so wonderful when you get into that soulful personality, because when you get inspired, you align yourself. And when you get into that alignment, things just flow, baby. Things just flow. And it's really exciting. It's exciting for you. It's exciting for everybody around you. You're just contributing in such a more magnanimous way. People want to help. And let people help. I'm really bad about that. I'm working on that. I am real stubborn about that. No, I'm independent. I can do it. I'm working on that. Because you do have to let people in. You do have to let people help. But just think how beautiful that is when you come from that high vibing energy and you're in the world creating and just having fun instead of like hustling and struggling and, putting it forward and working your ass off and getting it done. I know I did it. I did it for many years in the PR industry. And while I enjoyed it, I was always exhausted. And honestly, I really wasn't coming from my true self. I just wasn't, I was creative. I got to use a lot of my creativity skills, a lot of my writing skills. I was very imaginative. I got to meet a lot of cool people, which really inspired, they were the impetus too, and helped me inspire part of the book, So all kind of interesting stuff, but I digress there. You guys, what inspires you? That's your assignment for this week. I know, small assignment, right? What inspires you? No biggie. Oh, but if it's something you start working on, and if you're here to really grow yourself and find your true self, find that real you, and stand up and be that. That's what you're here for. And then if you allow divine intelligence to express through you, it's magical. It is so magical. And yes, you will have hard things to overcome. We all do. But they're just not as rough, because you're co-creating with divine intelligence. And when you look there for resources that are unlimited, new things always happen. So you're not that construct of, I have to do it this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And look what happens. You get yourself locked up and stuck. It's not pretty. So anyway, hope you like this video. Love doing them. And, subscribe, share this with somebody that you think would like it, hit the bell, and, all the YouTube stuff, you're on YouTube, it works. Probably know it works better than I do. Anywho, really appreciative of that I get to do this work, and I love it, and it inspires me. So I want you to find what inspires you. Because if you do, man, it's just so much better. Life is so much more fun. Even when it's a shit show out there, you're still having fun because you're like, yeah, I'm inspired to do what I'm doing. I just can't drown in all that other stuff. It's not that you're not affected by it. You are, but you're still like vibing with who you are, and you vibe at a higher place. So you don't get dragged down in all the muck. Right? Love you guys. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next week. Yay! Bye for now. Nina.